Hey everyone, I hope 2022 is off to a great start. I'm coming back with another video, and this time we're going to be talking about short-term rentals. So here in South Florida, as you know, there's a lot of visitors, a lot of seasonal people who come to visit South Florida. And well, if you're looking to invest maybe in real estate, maybe you can take advantage of that. Now, if you're looking to Airbnb or VRBO, short-term rental a property here in South Florida, I'm going to go through some of the things that you need to check off first before buying that property so you run into no issues. First, and I would say most important point when looking to invest and into short-term rentals, Airbnb properties, is the location. Now, here in South Florida, and I'm talking about, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach and Miami, you have to stay on the East Coast, near the water, which is great. I'm sure if you're looking to rent out an Airbnb, you want to stay closer to that anyways. But the reason why I say this is because anything on the west side, a lot of the west side area has a lot of HOAs, and with those associations, they will not allow you to rent short term. So you may buy thinking it's going to be great. You go to rent short term, you put it on Airbnb, and next thing you know, you get a letter in the mail from the association saying close down your operation. So in order to avoid that, you want to make sure that the community that you're buying in allows it. And that's usually one of the first things I recommend when looking at Airbnb a property is if you have a community that you're interested in that well, go on Airbnb, look at the surrounding area and see how they're doing, is it allowed there, and how many houses are being Airbnb'd. If you go and you see only one or two, well, you may have to do a little further research just to make sure there's no issues in that area. So when looking at an Airbnb short-term rental property, there are numerous factors that you're going to look at. First off is, what's going to be your price point? Are you going to buy a single family house? Are you going to do a condo that allows short-term rentals, which you have to be very careful about, like in my first point, making sure those buildings allow it? And okay, am I going to use the building? Am I going to use it as a second home and I just want to rent it out when I'm not there? So you have to look into, what do you exactly want out of this property? Now I'm going to go over some of the popular areas and what I've seen as far as the dynamics of the Fort Lauderdale area, because I know that area a little bit better, and what Airbnbs are like and what they're transitioning into. So if you're looking east of 95, which is where the majority of the Airbnb properties are located, you will see a lot of single family, nice houses that are Airbnb'd, and you can have a ton of people stay there. You come down for vacation or whatever it may be, really nice properties. Then you have, some condos in associations, like the condo building association itself allows short-term rentals. Those are usually closer to the beach. And then what we're seeing a lot of lately is a lot of duplexes, triplexes, and like quadplexes that are being converted into Airbnb properties. The owners are buying them, or if they have owned them in the past, they are fully furnishing them, upgrading them, and making them into really nice properties. Now, what's good about this is, people who have to travel here for work may just stay there because it's a one-bedroom unit and they'll just rent it out for the night. Or, if someone needs to transition from moving, if they're coming to vacation and it's only them, there's a lot of uses of why people travel down here, as well as the seasonal visitor that just may want to stay there for, a month or two or something like that and just want a one bedroom. So we're seeing that is a popular transition, especially, I would say since, 2020 and since the pandemic hit, we've seen a lot of that transition into those multi-units turning into Airbnb property. Now let's talk about some of the lending options that are available to you for Airbnb properties. Now, if you're looking for this to be a second home, pay attention, this could really benefit you because you can buy a house or a second home property for 10% down. Now, this is a big incentive that you can get through, some lending options to only put 10% down on a property like this. and be able to get it and then transition it into an Airbnb property. Now, if, let's say you own a second home already, or you're not looking to kind of mess with that, you want to put more percent down into the property, then there are investment loans that you can get into. You'll have to put 25% down, but it definitely is over 20% that you have to do to get that investment loan. Now, just keep in mind the biggest difference between the second home loan and the investment loan property is the second home loan, you can do 10% down, and you're going to get a very similar interest rate to buying a primary residence. So let's say, the interest rates right now are near 3, you'll get like a 3.5 on a second home. Now, if you do an investment property loan, it will be, in the high 4% area, and you have to put 20% down. So that's why it's really good to look into the loan options, because you can take advantage of this 10% and lower interest rate. And in the end, that all helps with your numbers and the profits that you make at the end of each month. Now, going into the dynamics of Airbnb, I want you guys to understand that this is not, purely passive income. You can set tools in place to make it as passive as it can be, but Airbnb is owning a business. It is owning, a hospitality, business, and you have to treat it as such. If you want, to get good reviews, get people to come back into your property, you're going to have to set the right tools in place, keep up the property, make sure it's clean properly, and get all the tools that they need to make it a wonderful stay. So a lot of the misconceptions with Airbnb is people will get into it thinking, okay, I'm just going to buy it, let it run itself, and I'm going to make money. But no, you're going to have to be a little bit more hands-on unless you hire a management company that, will have to probably take care of it fully if you want to be hands-off. And that usually takes up, up to, 20% of the gross income per month that you have to consider. Now, why I say even if you hire a management company, is it not going to be, purely passive, is because things are going to come up and they're going to arise that you have to address, whether that's issues with, current clients and people who stay at the property, repairs or something that's broken, something that happens within the property that, the management's going to have to reach out to you and say, hey, what do you want to do about this? We have to repair the toilet and it's going to cost X amount. These are things that you have to, first off, budget, but second off, be prepared to be hands-on and address those issues when they come up. Also, something to consider, especially in South Florida, is the seasonality of the area. A lot of people travel here to come to the beach, to enjoy vacation, and the best weather, is during the winter and fall months. So a lot of you'll see a lot of people from the north will come down here to vacation or to stay for the entire winter, and so usually a lot of Airbnbs crush it during those times, which can run from about November until April 15th. That's the cutoff date. Once it's April 16th, it is not season anymore, and it is officially a transition. So you'll see a drop off in occupancy rates, especially when here in South Florida. You can experience during those winter months, we've seen up to, 90% occupancy or even higher if you get someone who stays for a while. And so it's really good numbers, it's really good rates, and so you make really good money off of that. But you'll have to consider that if you buy one, how are you going to do during your summer months? What can you do to maybe entice some people to go stay at your property? And if you don't have anyone staying really during those months, are you making enough money during the season and winter months, to still make you money, to still keep you afloat? So I would say that is the only red flag or thing you have to consider when considering South Florida. But at the end of the day, there's so many things going on down here that I'm sure you'll be able to get some occupancy during those times. I just want to make sure that you are informed and prepared for the worst, and hopefully you can expect the best. Overall, that's kind of the dynamics of looking into South Florida for doing Airbnb. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I actually own a Airbnb property and looking to expand, so I have some experience in this avenue. So I'd be happy to share any knowledge and experience that I have at the moment. My number is 954-805-6370, and our email is guybohomes@gmail.com. We look forward to helping you, and have a great day.